fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new silver excuse, I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kiru's show here, and now, whenever we last left off with this series, we had Izuku Midoriya, and well, or as I will call him, Dorzaya. He has faced off against an alpha werewolf after accepting a quest. Him fighting against it after being attacked by a smaller group or a smaller pack of them. Now, Midoriya, he did encounter these wolves. Well, you did actually have Bella who ran away. She was attacked and injured. Midoriya then actually having Lee, the swordsman who wants to train with him, or at least be taught by him, chase him down and watch this happen. Midoriya fought the alpha and stopped it, dead in its tracks whenever it charged him. Midoriya, he stopped something as big as a car that was running towards him, and Lee was very impressed. As she did then basically encounter Midoriya whenever he knew she was spying on them. Her then introducing herself and telling everyone her name. As, thanks to her, Midoriya, he has learned about the existence of potions and crafting. Now, Midoriya, he also did put his skills into a weapon handling perk, since he might be stuck with this girl. Now, that was about 1 month ago. In this amount of time, Midoriya, he has maintained his attitude. Along with that, his skills have also improved along with his level. Midoriya, he was a level 15. And then after defeating the Giant Alpha, he reached level 17. And he is currently level 22. Now, Midoriya, he is sleeping in the inn. And he is about, let's just say, 50 miles away from where he got the demon sword from. Midoriya, yeah. He is asleep, as he does wake up today and go to sit up. As Midoriya does so, he does actually find someone to his left. As you do have Lee, who she is laying next to Midoriya, and she's currently at least holding onto one of his arms. Midoriya actually going to slide his hand out, and that waking her up, as she does jump up excited as her tail does wag, asking, "Sir, if they're going to be training today." Of course we are. We have plenty we have plenty of opportunities to train. Along with that, we need some quest. Quest? We're going on another one? So soon? Yes, we are. We can't just keep hunting those wolves in the forest. Along with that, I am curious about a few things. Yes, understood. Yeah. Midoriya would ask where Belle is, as Leisha does go to look under the bed. Midoriya turning her direction, as he does then see something before turning back around. As Midoriya would ask her where her undergarments are. Oh, come on. Wolves find it better to sleep, well, freely. I don't doubt that. However, if you're going to be sleeping on my bed, wear something. Alright, sir. No. Midoriya, he is surprised. Wolf ghouls are pretty weird. Apparently they're very similar to a dog from what he's figured out. Along with that, they're very strange. Now, Belle would then be woken up. As Midoriya, he does watch her climb out from under the bed. And she actually does go to stretch. As you do actually have where she does remark that Lee's only in her undergarments. And how Lee, she does talk about how she doesn't really care about that. Midoriya informing Lee to take some of the money they have and actually go buy some pajamas then. Lee just looking at Midoriya before just, shrugging, saying that she doesn't really care. Now, this argument will go on for some time, as they all do head downstairs and eat breakfast. Afterwards, you do actually then have Midoriya who would go to stand up and tell Lee that they're going to be training today. Lee still sipping on something from a mug, as she does tell Midoriya that she is going to be still here for a minute. Her going back to talk to Bella as Midoriya he does directly turn around, grab her by her collar, and pull her off of the table. People watching as Midoriya he does drag her outside, while she does try to run back to the table and grab her bowl. Now, Belle she does watch that, as she does just remark on how it's very peculiar. The guy, he has his own strange way of caring for people, and showing that he does at least appreciate them. But it's still pretty strange. Now, she does remark, however, or at least think about how they've been at least on their own for a little under a month, or a little bit over. Honestly, it's strange being free. The air, the wind, everything. It's all so nice. Now, you do actually have where she does go to at least bring her hand up and run her hand over her shoulder. Thinking about how the first real thing they did when they got free was they started becoming adventurers to gain money. And ever since then, it's sort of just been adventure after adventure after adventure. Midoriya he does train Lee in swordsmanship. However, Lee, she does just call him Sir. It's very strange, but she's not really too bothered by it. Now, you do actually then have where she does go to stand up and walk outside, as she does remark on how they're probably already beating each other again. And we do have Midoriya, who he is at least holding one blade. And he does hold it in a position quite similar to what a paladin would be holding theirs in. He has his arms widened as he does hold it out like a baseball bat, right before you do go to bend it downwards or curve it to go step into a swing. Now, Lee she does notice Midoriya's strange stance, and she does ask about it, as Midoriya would tell her to charge him immediately, and that if she does fail, then this is all going to be quite painful. Now, Lee she does go to do so. As soon as she does do that, Midoriya he does immediately throw his katana, or at least throw it and spin it a bit. Midoriya giving her the dull side of it, as he does then go to sweep underneath and directly pick up dirt. Midoriya then flinging it directly towards her as he does rush in himself. Now, Lee she does move in before the dirt does get in her eyes and obscure her vision. As we do then have Midoriya, he does tell her to stay on guard and focus where the opponent is. Her going to swing behind her as Midoriya is not there. Then going to her left right, behind her again, in front of her, and then above her. Her trying to find Midoriya. As we do then have where he does pop up, and the last place she would have expected. Midoriya's hand shooting out of the ground and grabbing her by her ankle, as she does look down before she's pulled underneath. Now, you do actually have where Belle, she did look to see that. All of a sudden, Lee was pulled underground. So, they're already doing that. Now, Lee, she did then begin to fall. Her falling 10 feet before landing and then going to turn herself around and directly slash at a rock. her cutting through it as Midoriya himself, he has hidden his presence from her. Before the feeling of overwhelming bloodlust can be felt and she does go to turn around. Now, her sense of hearing is betraying her in this location. She's trying to find where Midoriya is, and it's not working. As we do have where Midoriya, he does head in and go for an attack. His footsteps echoing and the sound bouncing everywhere. She's completely blind here. As Midoriya, he would actually go to bring up the dull side of the blade and directly smash her in the back of the neck, as she just hit the ground. And Midoriya would tell her that the training is done for the day. Now, the two, they do then get out of the ground as Lee just watch Midoriya use a particular spell, as it's an ability to manipulate Earth. Now, it was quite strange. She doesn't understand why Midoriya, he has so much strange magical power. However, yeah, her master is just that strong. And it's pretty interesting. Now, you do actually have where Belle, she does actually ask if any of them are hurt, because she can heal them. Now, Midoriya, he wishes to inform Belle, or Bella, that they're both fine, and that he did hold back against her. Sir, you were holding back? Of course I was. In an actual fight between both of us, I'd kill you. That's not fair. Life's not fair. What are you to say? As you cut to his point of view. Midoriya, whenever he does open his eyes, he does look through them. He's gained a few more magical skills since we last saw him. He has the ability to see and read mana. Along with that, he can actually tell how high somebody's level is, along with some of their stats directly above their heads. Belle, she is at least a level 3 or 4, and Lee, she's a level 7. It is impressive, but from what he's heard, she's been training her whole life to reach that state. So, that does mean that she's at least not encountered some real combat. The occasional wild beast, sure. But actual opponents, yeah, no. That must be where she does draw the line. Midoriya asking if she's ever actually fought against a creature or another person to kill. Now, Lee, she would explain. She has not. She wants to become an adventurer, but it is very dangerous. So she wanted to get as strong as she could beforehand. And Midoriya, he would inform her that that's not how it works. Adventurers, they take on quests that are at low levels when they are low levels. And they work their way up from there. You can't just power up and then start slow. Now, you do actually have Belle who does stare at Midoriya, since that's kind of what he did. Midoriya, yeah. From what she does know him explaining it, he did fight in an arena, gaining enough magical power and then breaking free, from what she has at least been explained. Now, we do then have where Midoriya, him, and his allies, they do head back to the guild hall. And we do have where the perfect opportunity has arose. The guild, they're offering a specialized quest. And you do actually have somebody who they are begging people to accept it. A man's village is going to be under attack very soon. And it will be bad news for the people who are there. Now, the man is screaming and shouting that if the people do come in, then it's all going to be over. People are going to be taken. women are going to be taken, and they're going to be, well, have things happen to them, and then be killed, or burned, or even tortured. Along with that, there's the fact that death is the best outcome for everybody there. Now, he doesn't shout that people will be enslaved. And you do actually then have Midori who does shout something in the guild hall. As everyone, they do turn to see Dorzaya, as he's wearing a wolf's pelt on his head. Along with that, there is his outfit. There is that cloak he does have, ever since the first day he has walked in here. Along with that, there's the leather arm bracers and the shoulder bracers that he does carry. Midoriya asking what that man's talking about when he does say people are going to be enslaved. As it's that man with a feather on his head. Him informing Midoriya that goblins are going to come to his village and destroy it. And Midoriya, he does grit his teeth. And people, they can already tell something bad's going on inside that guy's head. Now, Midoriya, he would ask him exactly where are these goblins. As Midoriya, the man, he does talk about how he'll pay him whatever he does want. Midoriya looking back at the man and saying that he'll just kill them. That's all he wants. I like your style. I know. The only good enemy is a dead enemy. I have a similar saying myself. Huh. Please, I've heard the story about you, Goblin Slayer. Now, the man, he does then bring his head back up and look at Midoriya. Midoriya informing the man that this battle they're going to be going on, yeah. He's going to ask him right now, where are the goblins located at? Goblin Slayer and Midoriya teaming up and then leaving. Now, Goblin Slayer, he does show Midoriya exactly the location where he believes the goblins are at. And Midoriya, he does just bring up his hands and begin to start using magic. As Midoriya, he does then close his hands into a fist and completely collapse the cave where the goblins are believed to be staying. Now, after that does happen, Goblin Slayer, he does stare back at Midoriya, asking him how he's so sure they're all dead. They'll suffocate and die. By the time they think about even trying to escape, it'll be too late. No more oxygen. Along with that, Midoriya talking about how he can sense faint traces of mana in this location. I see. However, I didn't know goblins had mana. They don't. However, a evolved goblin does. Now, Goblin Slayer, yeah. He does then head back with Midoriya, as the two then do prepare for the goblins' attack. Now, this is the perfect opportunity for Midoriya's apprentice Lee, who she does participate in this event, and she does fight alongside her teacher. Now, you also do actually have Belle, who she is a healer. Now, Belle, she does want to fight. She doesn't want to be weak. However, there's not very much that she can do. She is currently taking care of some of their wounded, as she's running around the battlefield and giving people potions to drink. Now, you do actually have where a goblin does directly land on her back. And she actually does go to bring up her hands and directly try and grab the goblin off. As she does throw the goblin over her shoulders and it does hit the ground. Now, more goblins begin to show up. And this is where she does find that she's surrounded. As you do actually have Midori who does come flying in and cleaving through at least 20 alone with a single slash. Before Midori, he does then turn and spin his blade, as he does commit a sword slash and take out at least 20 more. As Bella, she does look towards the ground and quickly go to grab the wounded man's sword. As she does then go to swing it at the goblin who is approaching her. Now, she does swing wildly, but she does cut open its stomach. And the goblin, it would fall backwards, hitting the ground. As we do actually have Midori who did turn and see that. As he does walk over after he does cast Fireball on a few goblins that were trying to sneak up on her. Her spinning around and seeing Midoriya walk through the flames. So, how does it feel? I killed it. No, you didn't. What are you to say? Him going to at least reach out and instruct her that it's still alive. And it's in a great deal of pain. It's hurt? Yes, it is. I know you're a healer. However, that was in self-defense, was it not? Yes. And how did it feel? Now, Belle, she doesn't want to give Midoriya the satisfaction. She knows it felt nice to get that thing away from her. And it was going to hurt her and do things to her. However, she does bring up her sword and directly stab it downwards into the goblin's leg. And Midoriya, he does watch what she does begin to do. As Midoriya, he does watch her begin to start losing it a bit. Her slashing wildly and killing the goblin with a fury of slashes. Now, Midoriya then does watch that level 4 jump to a 5. As Midoriya, he does just think, okay, that's good, and he does turn his head looking around the battlefield. This Goblin Slayer guy is at least a level 30. With the fact that he doesn't use magic, however, it's pretty impressive. And then there is Lee, who she jumped to a level 13 herself. Now, by the end of the night, a lot of goblins are dead. And everyone, they all do celebrate and go out for a drink. As we do currently have Midoriya, who's sitting outside of the tavern. And he does have his legs folded out in front of him as he does have his sword next to him. Midoriya sipping something as he does go to set it down next to him and look up towards the night sky. Now, we do actually have Lee who does come walking out. And she does stumble out of the tavern drunkenly, asking Dorzaya what he's doing. I told you to never call me that name. Come on, sir. Bella calls you it, so what's the problem? Belle was there when I received it. That is the only reason she is allowed to. You sure? 'Cause I just think you have a thing for her. How long have you two known each other? What day is it? Her saying that it's this current date. And Midoriya, he does remark that it's been about a year then. Really? So, her sitting down across from Midoriya asking exactly how long, or at least how did they meet? Midoriya turning her head as she does at least bring her hand up and cover her mouth. Hey, I'm sorry. I know it's probably not a topic you want to talk about. A drunk mouse speaks. Well, a drunk person, their ramblings are an honest man's truth, or at least questions, right? Something along those lines. You already know I was a slave. So was she. It took about, a few, long weeks. However, I was eventually able to do it. I grew stronger, not by choice, through force. And then, I eventually gained a skill. And it was something that allowed me to escape slavery. Really? A unique skill? Yeah. I've never heard of anyone getting one of those. You must be new then. I've gotten quite a few. In fact, Roya checking his level. Level 24. Hmm. I need to at least check my own skills. After that, maybe. Now, Lee does ask Midoriya the question. How does Bella at least feel? Bella will be fine. She's been enslaved longer than I was. I'm just the man who granted her freedom. Now, you do actually have Bella who was going to walk outside. However, she does see Midoriya and Lee both talking. Her deciding to stay by the door and wait for the two to finish their conversation. It's probably about swordsmanship or something important. Dorzaya doesn't really seem like the person who... I don't know how she feels is the thing. What's going on out there? My whole thing is, I'm not really very much of a people person. Hell, I granted the girl her freedom. And you know what she could have done the moment she had it? Run. But she didn't. It's also the fact that I did need help. As much as I hate to say those words. What are you to say? Him picking up his mug and finishing off the entire drink. Before he does is toss it behind him and wipe his mouth. As you do actually have Lee who does hold up her own mug. What's that one? I don't know. Some sort of apple blend? It's very tasty. Roya taking that as he does snatch it from her hand. Roya sipping it before he does at least taste it properly. That's pretty good. Poison resistance has increased. And I'm sober again. Roya deciding to kill the rest of this beer before he just does toss it behind his shoulder once again. Turning to her and saying that Belle is somebody that he's at least grown to know a bit more. He does want the girl to get up and defend herself. However, that's very hard for her. Her abilities are healing. And he's never really heard of a healer killing a person. However, he did watch the way she killed that goblin earlier today. Belle feeling remorse as she does think that Midoriya is about to talk about how she went into a feral rage and she lost herself to her instincts. Midoriya then saying she was angry. Very, very angry. It's understandable though. Hell. There's a few things I want to do to change this world myself. This world? You speak as if you've been to different ones. Maybe I have. I've at least seen a lighter side to people. But this one's by far the worst one I've seen. Quit joking around, sir. Now, Roy would stand up and head inside. As he does make one little decision tonight. He's going to see how high his poison resistance can go before it does stop. Now, we do have one where he does walk inside, turn and see Belle, telling her that if she does want to come outside and talk with him, then do so. He's going to go grab a few mugs. Now, Midoriya, he does go to grab some mugs as there's a whole lot of commotion around one particular table. Midoriya getting at least, let's see, 12. Since you can hold 3 with one hand, stack on 3, and then do the same thing. Now, I know my shit. Now, Midoriya he would walk outside as he does then set all these things down. Belle and Lee both talking. And Midoriya he does watch them argue. It reminds him of two siblings, or at least how cats and dogs do somewhat act. It's pretty funny. Midoriya, him, going to chug a mug, as you do actually have where Lee, she does join him. And you do have Bella who does sit there with this giant thing in her hands. As she does at least hold hers up and begin to start drinking. Now, you do have about 6 mugs deep, where Belle, she does actually throw her mug up in the air and cheer that they're free, and that they killed the enemy today. As they all do, continue to drink and drink and drink, and fight and fight and fight, drink and fight and drink and fight. Seven Deadly Sins of Bridge, if I remember where that's from correctly. Anyways, now, you do actually have the next morning, where Midoriya, he does wake up in his bed, and he does have a hangover. Him kinda surprised, he does. Now, Midoriya, you do then have where you do have Belle and Lee both laying down next to him. Belle is finally laying on the bed, and that does surprise him. However, there is Lee, she is completely spread out. While Belle is cramped up in a ball, Lee, she is at least trying to take up as much space as possible. Midoriya deciding to get up and go to sit up. As he does sit up, he does look around the room and grab his cloak, deciding to head out today and at least take a bit of a walk. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.